And my vertical pull of choice, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know, is pull-ups. I'll start with pull-ups, generally do 50 reps in as few sets as possible, meaning I'll do a set to failure. Hey gang, welcome back to Mark's 60 Plus Fitness Journey. Well, I've had more than a few people ask me what the best exercises are to help build an athletic, aesthetic, nice V-shaped back, or a nice back in general. So I thought on today's episode we'd take a few minutes to discuss that very topic, and I'm going to give you my 2 cents worth regarding what I think are the best exercises to develop that nice V-shaped back. And then I'm going to open up the floor via the comments to hear what you'd like to say. Give us your thoughts on what exercises are best for developing a nice, strong V-shaped back. Let's get at it. All right, when I think about back programming, in my mind I visualize 2 main components. Vertical pulls, which is lat-centric, and rowing, which is mid-back, rhomboid, rear delts, mid-traps, that kind of thing, centric. And I also like to consider some exercises that are a transition between a pure vertical pull and a pure row, and I'll show you a couple of examples of those as we go through here too. And I just want to say these are not all inclusive, and these are not a specific workout that I do. These are just exercises I think are great for developing that nice V-shaped back. My back workouts generally start with vertical pulls. I do vertical pulls and then transition into the rowing movements. And my vertical pull of choice, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know, is pull-ups. I'll start with pull-ups, generally do 50 reps in as few sets as possible, meaning I'll do a set to failure, rest a bit, set to failure, rest a bit, until I get to 50. So that may be 5-6 sets, and that'll be my first grouping of vertical pulls. Now those sets are done to failure. That's a little different than I normally do for the rest of my back workout. So that's a nice start. That's a nice vertical pull exercise, and generally speaking I'll move into some seated cable lat pull downs, and I like to do 3 sets of those in the 8 to 10 rep range. And if it's 3 sets, I'll vary my hand grip. For example, I'll do a straight bar with a pronated grip, 8 to 10 reps. Then I'll move to a V-bar, neutral grip, close grip, 8 to 10 reps. And then maybe throw in the mag bar, if you're familiar with that. That's kind of like a 45 degree in between a pronated and a neutral. Again, 8 to 10 reps. So that could finish up the vertical pull work for me on a given day. Now, talking about transition movements between strict vertical pulls and rows, let's talk about this right here. This is kind of a variation on a Gironda pull-up, if you've ever heard of that. And a Gironda pull-up is where you pull your hips up, and you do initially start with a lat contraction, and then when your hips are up, you're into your mid-back area. Now for me, these things are excellent. I just started doing these again. It's a nice transition from lat to mid-back, rhomboid, mid-trap area. Now a lot of folks say maybe it's a waste of a movement, but I like it. Again, I'll do, on these I'll do these to failure. I'll do 3 sets to failure on these. A nice transition from lat to mid-back. And then another option is the hammer strength high row machine. I'm sure you've used these before. This is a great example of a lat pull and a row. This incorporates almost, I think, the entirety of the back. Now for me, these high rows kind of hit me more in the lats than say in the mid trap or rhomboid area, but they're still an excellent transition and it's an excellent movement. Again, I'll do 3 sets of these in the 8 to 10 rep range. And then I'll transition into some pure rowing movements. And lately, that's been barbell rows in particular. I just started doing barbell rows the last 6-7 sessions, and I love them. They're primarily a strength movement for me, a nice compound movement, nice hard movement. And sometimes, occasionally, I'll do these at the beginning of a back day, depending on whether I want to go really heavy. Now, at this point in the workout, my back's kind of pre-exhausted, so it's going to be a lighter weight, but it's still going to be a nice, pure rowing movement, and it's going to primarily hit, or at least for me, my mid-back area, mid-traps, that part. And depending on where you actually bring the barbell, say if you bring your barbell lower towards your navel, it's more lat-centric. Closer to your sternum, more mid-back centric. So I do 3 sets of those in the 8 to 10 rep range as well. And another option is some nice dumbbell rows. Man, you know, dumbbell rows are hard. These things are bare, but I love them. You can do 3 sets of these again, 8 to 10 rep range. Nice rowing movement. And then again, another option after that is some cable work, seated cable rows. And here again, I'm going to do 3 sets in the 8 to 10 rep range. You probably got that by now, but I want to vary the grip. I'll do a set pronated with a straight bar, 8 to 10 reps. I'll do a set of V bar, close grip, neutral grip, and then finish up with maybe the mag bar in a nice neutral, a mid-range grip, I'll call it, between pronated and neutral. And that's an excellent mid-back hitter as well. And there again, on these seated cable rows, it depends on where you actually bring the bar to your body. Again, if it's lower towards your stomach, navel area, it's more lat. Towards your sternum, chest area, it's more mid-back. And here I focus primarily on keeping my elbows close to my body. Great movement right there. And another thing I want to mention too, there's some with the seated cable rows and the seated lat pull downs, I like to do some isolation work, meaning I'll do a left arm, right arm. Just for me, I have a little bit harder time isolating my left side for some reason, so I like to do isolation work for seated lat pull downs for the vertical movement and for the seated cable rows for the rowing movement. So there you have it. That's just some examples. There, like I said, this is not an overarching list or a grouping of exercises that you can do. There are a myriad of others, and I'm sure your mind is already thinking of a bunch of them I didn't think about. But along that line, as I said earlier, the floor is open for a discussion on what you think the best exercises are for developing that nice V shape, that nice athletic V shape, and an overall athletic back in general. So there you have it, my 2 cents worth on what the best exercises are to develop a nice athletic V-shaped back. So again, the floor is open via the comments to let us know what your opinion is on what the best exercises are, best back exercises are for developing that nice V-shaped back. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I'm sure there's a lot of good things I didn't cover here. But this, like I said, this is just my opinion and the general overview of exercises that I use that work well for me. Alrighty, I just want to say thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy day to hang out with me. I really appreciate it. And if you do me the additional favor, as always, hit that like button, share this with your friends, hit that notification bell, leave some comments. Yeah, please leave some comments. Love to hear from you. And if you haven't already, please consider clicking that subscribe button. We're growing slowly but surely, and we would absolutely love to have you along with us. So click that subscribe button before you forget. And I guess with that I'll say, till next time, go get 'em. Mark out.